Hi, we're the Huge Movie Fanatics, and we're here to bring you our review of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is a monumental leap from Episodes 1 and 2. Like, this one stands shoulder to shoulder with the original Star Wars trilogy, in my opinion.
I gotta agree, I'll just throw that in there.
Yeah, and like, this is just so pitch perfect for the prequels. Like, and I think, oddly enough, it wouldn't have worked half as well if the other ones hadn't existed the way that they are. Like, I think Episode 1 and Episode 2 really feed into this movie in a positive way, even with all their flaws and shit. This movie is just so great, especially the very opening moment after the Star Wars and then the Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. War, like that's right takes you there, and I was totally against that cheesy.
Exactly. Because it should be mentioned that at the end of Episode 2, that is the beginning of the Clone Wars. It started.
Yeah.
So now Episode 3 opens with, as you said,
war, and that opening battle is really quite good.
The first 20 minutes is action?
I know,
like that?
For the first time in a Star Wars movie, prequel, it opens with something interesting going on. Who knew? But it's not even the battle itself. The battle itself is kind of fun and interesting. It's the way that the camera follows the characters. It gives you a sense of 3D, which you've never, in
2D,
yeah, 3D world. Like, how space isn't just a flat screen or anything like that like you get in the other movies. This one, like, battles are happening up and down, but it appears to them vertically, and so you're, like, weaving in and out of all this chaos and battle. And
how cool is that, after that, after the words disappear, and it's like...
Yeah.
The camera's like... And you're like, what the hell is that? And then, but it ends up being like part of the music.
Yeah, it's just like the war drum.
Yeah, and it's just like the beginning couldn't have been better.
Yeah,
it was like when that scene started, I was like, and those ships come into the screen, we follow them through there. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is great. How does this happen?
Yeah, like he knew this was going to be his last
Star Wars
movie,
and totally
he really went all out. The action in this movie is the best action out of any of the Star Wars movies, I'd say, on the whole. Just especially the lightsaber battle at the end of the movie. But the emotional journey that you take with Anakin is really fascinating.
I couldn't believe it after especially the first one and this kind of weak second one. I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah,
completely.
He's such an oddly sympathetic character, even though he's doing all these horrible things. You can kind of see why he's doing that. He's doing everything he can to save the woman he loves, and even if that involves other people dying, then so be it. You've already seen him do that in the previous movie.
The thing you mentioned about this movie's better off even with the two lamer first ones, is that you're right, because by seeing him lose his mom, he separated from his mom at a young age and then have her die, it completely sets up why he falls for he falls for the third one.
And I like Shmi's line in the first movie where she's like, but you can't stop the change. Any more than you can change. Yeah.
Stop the suns from setting.
She's trying to teach him, but he leaves her, so her lesson doesn't stick with him. And like, if he had just listened to what she had to say, none of that would have happened. But it's what eventually happens to her that causes him to take the journey he does in this movie. And the through line of these movies with family is so strong, because you feel the mother's presence in this movie, even though she's not in it, and they mention her and whatnot, and then the Padme and the pregnancy and everything like that, which that was a little poorly done. I will say.
Well, the stuff between them is always poorly done. It's like, you're so beautiful. That's so much unloved.
She looks like the demon from The Exorcist
in that scene. Yeah.
And it's just like, she did look beautiful up until she turned like full on towards Anakin, and it's like, oh Jesus!
It's like, fuck me!
Yeah, and she looked exactly like that the white demon face from The Exorcist that flashes on the screen. But she's beautiful in the whole rest of the movie. But that scene it's just ironic that he's commenting on her beauty in that moment. But the movie, the best thing about the movie, hands down, is the relationship between Anakin and the Chancellor Palpatine.
Oh my god.
He should have won a freaking Oscar, that man, for that performance in the movie. Like his scene where he's talking with Anakin at the opera house and basically tells him he's his father.
When that scene happened, I was like, George, I don't care what the fuck you did in episode 1. You got me. This is fucking genius. And to have it take place at that venue with that music and that whatever the hell that thing is up in front of him.
Yeah, that's so good. And the thing of it is, it's like 7 minutes of just two people talking.
But you want it to go on longer.
You want to find out. You want to learn the ways of the dark side. Like I was perfectly fine. I was like, let's do this. Let's take that journey.
I see.
Yeah, I know, right? And then Mace Windu is really good in this too. And you see like his. You saw a little bit of it in episode 1 where he just did not trust Anakin right from the get-go. He's like, bring him before us then. He clearly didn't like Anakin from the get-go, and it's that he influences the turn of events throughout this movie as well, and like how all the characters come together to create the perfect storm is just excellent.
Yeah, and this is why I'm really excited about Dark Knight Rises, because all the stuff that happens in episode 3 where everything just goes bad is that drama is what makes it interesting, and seeing what's his name, Windu, die and stuff.
Yeah.
Anakin!
That scene too. The scene
that scene is just awesome.
The Emperor and Mace Windu. That's so good.
And the performance that he had that guy do when he was like, it was so weird. It was almost like an outtake.
Yeah.
Power. The Emperor was so fucking perfect, pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Even better than Return of the Jedi.
Oh God, yeah.
And it was like, I love when he's like,
Yeah, he's just so happy. And his best line delivery, and he's like, and then we shall have peace. Yeah. And he just seems so happy about it, that he's now the leader of this. And the best, one of the best scenes, and the scene that everybody cites is just astounding, is when he's in front of the Senate speaking, and he's like, the First Galactic Empire! And then you see his hands rising from the shot from behind. Like, that's such a great shot. And then they cut to Padme saying, so this is how Liberty died in the thunderous applause, which, who wrote that line? Because, like, that is such a brilliant line. Like,
yeah, probably.
Lucas, I believe that Lucas probably did it because he's very political. But like, I don't know where that stroke of genius came from. That's like a chilling moment. Seeing it actually happen.
Yeah, because as a kid, you know shit went bad when you watch the first trilogy.
Yeah. But
you don't really think about it. That was the best thing about the entire prequel trilogy, is seeing it go bad in episode 3, and all the clones and all that setup to have the clones to execute Order 66, and that's almost. And I probably would be lying if I said that I haven't watched that scene where they're being shot down, and a little bit of my eyes probably hadn't got watery. In the Star Wars movie, of course, they were pretty like that in some of the first ones. But I thought there were so many masterful scenes in this movie. I couldn't believe it. George Lucas, CG. And when all the Jedi are being killed by the clones, it's just
especially
whoa.
like the look on Ki-Adi-Mundi's face, the guy with the long head.
Where
he's just like, what are you doing?
And the awesome and some of the stuff is like really awesome, like the shots of the clones'
the feet just stopping, and then
it's just like
and the ash coming down from the volcano around him. Like that's just such a cool scene.
This movie is full of so many great moments. For me, from the I'll go continue.
I'd give it 4 stars. And we haven't even touched on Ewan McGregor, who was really good, and he was fine in episode 1. He was really good in episode 2. He really steps up his game, and like his performance throughout that movie is just astounding. And especially when he's yelling and chastising Vader as he's burning, which is a little heartless, but like that scene is just so perfectly acted. You feel how sorry he is.
How disappointed.
Yeah, you feel that's the perfect word for it. How disappointed he is that the other Jedi were right about him. Like he stood there, he believed in Qui-Gon, and he just lost everything. And you see how lost he is, like himself. It's such a good scene.
What I loved about, there was so many great moments, as I said, but after you talk about that scene reminded me of afterwards, when I can't remember where he is, but I remember him just going like this.
Yeah.
He's riding back, I think 3PO is piloting,
yeah.
and he's just sitting there
he's
going
just
like, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be like, fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it.
He started picking up because you see Alec Guinness a lot in the original ones, where he's like sort of, or he's touching his mustache, and he started doing that in this one.
Yeah.
And he looks so much like Alec Guinness in this movie. Like I totally believe that's him 20 years earlier or whatever. Like that scene is, or that stuff is just so strong, and we should discuss the epic. No.
Oh, should we?
Because I do think that's a misstep, but I think that's a great scene. Everything leading up to that is so good.
Yeah, that's probably that's probably my only complaint with episode 3 is
no. Yeah. Yeah. I figured it out. This is why it's so irritating. He emphasizes the N more than the O. He's like no.
Oh, is that why?
And, I think that's
well.
And that scene could have been saved. He could have even screamed. I think he should have just been like, "Argh!" Like just let out like a yell, a bellow.
A yell would have been so much better than
yeah.
To me, that's all I can think of lamity for
yeah.
episode 3.
Yeah. So I mean that's bad. I like all the stuff that you see the Harry Potter sequence where Leia and Luke sort of get delivered to.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that because I would have completely forgotten. I wanted to cover this. I was completely disappointed when they said, because if you're watching these movies
yeah.
in order,
mm-hmm.
why are they giving it away? Why are they saying Leia and Luke?
Oh, yeah. yeah.
To this day, I think she should have just spit them out with no names.
Yeah.
Because then you watch episode 4 and you don't know who this guy is.
That's very interesting.
You've never thought about that?
No, I never thought about that. But that would have been a really interesting. Like, well, who's this? Who's the other baby?
That's my
only
only problem with, because when we did the episode 1 review, you said these are meant to be seen like this.
Yeah.
Well, then why are they giving it away?
Does spoil
in episode
the
3?
great.
I could. That's the one thing I was sitting in the theater, saw it for the first time. I couldn't believe he did that.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke, Leia.
Yeah.
What? You just screwed up the whole. And that's 2 movies for Leia of mystery.
Yeah.
And I can't believe he never.
I never thought of that. That would have been better.
You
should email Lucas and just be like,
Lucas?
when you retinker, you should just cut out her.
I couldn't believe it. Well, yeah. I hope I didn't ruin it for you.
No, you didn't.
But I couldn't believe it. So that's oh god, I completely would have forgot about it had you not said whatever you said that made me think of it. I thought that was I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It would have been completely great had she had the kids. I don't think any names, because even if you say Luke, then you know it's his dad. So then if you're watching them in order, then we see Empire and it's like, not true, and it's like the viewer already knows. How lame is that?
They should have just had her spit him out and then have Organa take Leia and.
Yeah, would it have been too much with no names to even see? Probably even wouldn't seem too much to have them brought to Tatooine, that familiar location even. No, because it could have been anyone.
Yeah.
So that probably, if you just cut out her saying the names, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to comment on that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good assessment actually. So yeah. Oh, and my favorite bit of symbolism in the movie is when the Emperor and Yoda are battling. And he starts taking the Senate and literally just destroying it.
Oh gosh, I never thought about it in that aspect.
Yeah, he's just destroyed the Senate, and then he's literally you're seeing it actually getting destroyed. Like, how awesome was that scene?
Yeah.
And I like when Yoda catches it and sort of spins it back at him. That was kind of neat.
I want to actually mention, which I really liked at the time, and I still think we should not forget to mention. What the hell's his name? General Grievous, which I really liked at the time. I thought that was a really cool Star Wars character, and I'm glad the 4 lightsaber thing was really cool, and
The only problem with Grievous is that he should have been introduced in one of the earlier ones. Maybe
That's,
like briefly in the second one or something
I
like
think
that.
that would have been a good idea because they had all them characters, those trade people or whoever the hell they were from the second one. He should have been with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And I can imagine Lucas probably visually putting Grievous in there and just, I disagree, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
for me, I think I've said enough just in my, us going back and forth where I don't have to do my own separate half. For me, it's 4 stars. I couldn't believe it. And every time I watch, because when I think about it, I'm like, it ain't that good. And then I watch it, I'm like, yes, it's that good.
Yeah, it really
it's
is.
like there isn't a moment in episode 3 where I think it's boring. First of all, you're given 20 minutes almost, if not 20 minutes, of nothing but action at the very beginning. So you're quenched of action. So and then I just think it's paced perfectly.
Yeah.
I think it's paced perfectly, and everything that happens perfectly.
Yeah, I think it's the best written, hands down, of any of the
It's
Star Wars
probably
movies.
the best written Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
I mean, I couldn't
say
believe
that.
it because I mean, after episode 1 and 2, I was like, okay, well, the special effect, it'll be interesting, but I don't expect nothing.
Yeah, and Hayden did a good job too. I would
Yeah,
say.
that was one thing I wanted to comment on. There's something about, and even Jar Jar in episode 2. I hate Jar Jar, but seeing in episode 2, there's something about seeing a character and then seeing him back in another movie, even if you hate him. Or even if you thought
he's a little different though.
well,
he's a little more
just
mature
that he's
in the
not
second one.
bumbling
Yeah.
around. Yeah, but what I was getting at is seeing Hayden back, and I think he's a lot better.
Yeah,
and those two in the first scene are so good.
Yeah, they play off each other really nicely.
Really well in
and
that
you didn't
scene.
get that in the second one. So it's
No,
nice to see
the
that
second
their
one was
relationship.
awkward.
There.
I mean, it's just I'm not. I've already done a Star Wars, and you're the new kid, and it looks like that's how it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like
And this
the
one,
third
like, I
one, they're
totally
both
buy that
Star
they're
Wars.
friends.
Oh yeah, and even some of the jokes were not as stupid as like, oh, this will be fun.
Yeah, I also liked when he's like,
Oh, this will
that,
be easy.
That stuff on Caden and Moria, that doesn't count.
Isn't that a great nerd?
Yeah.
That's a great nerd line there.
Yeah.
And it's just like now some fans are gonna want to see. I don't know. I don't watch the Clone Wars show.
I saw that movie and it was really bad. So.
I remember that. So who knows? Maybe a writer will do something with that in the Clone Wars cartoon. I don't know, which I don't watch.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I think we've said it. Both 4 stars. This is the best of the Star Wars.
It's funny because it's like some of the best stuff of Star Wars is the dark side stuff, and this is out of all 6 movies, it's got like the best dark side stuff.
Yeah.
And to see the transition, physical transition that he goes through to become when he's getting zapped.
Yeah.
He's zapped. Now, I mean, did he do that? Did he make himself look like that, or what?
Oh,
What do you think?
they did put that in digitally. Like he was sitting there.
No. I mean the character. I mean, does he want to look like that?
Yeah. I think he was letting it burn him,
letting himself get
disfigured so he can, because from Anakin's point of view, the Jedi really are evil. Like they won't let him do all these things that they're telling him he can do.
That's great. I wanted to comment on that. I talked about it in our whatchamacallit, Silent Night, Deadly Night review. Is that you completely they present all the facts so perfectly where you completely understand why Anakin does everything he does.
Like I mean, the Jedi to him are evil. They're doing all these horrible things, not letting him be what he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to this other guy who's like, I can give you unlimited power. And look at what this guy's doing to me. Granted, like it's his own power that's hurting him, but it's like, and then he is just gonna kill him. And like, the guy who completely doesn't trust Anakin is about to kill a person that's like his father, or actually is his father.
Mm-hmm.
Like you totally understand it. So like cutting off his arm, Anakin didn't kill him. He cut his off his arm.
Yeah.
So then having the Emperor kill him, that was a little cold. Him killing the younglings, that was balls.
Oh
that was such ballsy move.
I thought it was so needed. It was so needed to show.
I mean, they had to explain what happened to the little young Jedi. The fact that they show him like, Master Anakin, what do we do? And then
and the
kid's just like,
no, he's like,
like that's such a that's a good shot.
So one thing we're gonna end it. Trust me. Last thing I want to say is that scene with the Emperor where he kills Samuel L. Jackson when they're fighting and they break the glass.
Yeah.
And the wind, the greatness, atmospheric that wind adds to the scene. It's like in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
The wind. It's like if that wind hadn't have been there for that scene, it would have been like not anything like it is with that wind.
Yeah.
And I just when they broke that glass and the wind blew in there, the original trilogy just came back. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh god, this is great. This is Star Wars. It's like, holy shit.
Speaking of the original trilogy coming back, this is my last point, and then we're done. Is seeing the ship, the Corellian ship, from the opening of Episode 4, going into it, seeing it exactly like it was.
Oh shit, that's gotta be mentioned. Yeah.
Having Organa and Yoda and Obi-Wan walking down that hall that is about to like get shot up in 20 years. That's such so good, and they used that. It was like an actual set. It was so minimal, just like that first movie.
Yeah, they almost don't spend enough time on it.
Yeah, I know. I just was like, that takes you right back to Episode 4.
And what's great about it is by this time the fashion is getting a little more like 70s.
It looks like their haircuts are even beginning to. It's like. He did a good job making that one. So
yeah, Episode 3, Lucas.
For my money, this is Lucas's best Star Wars movie that he directed, I think. And this is just such a glorious movie. So I think this one might be my second favorite Star Wars movie if you put a gun to my head. They're really hard to find.
All right. Well,
so
thanks for watching. May the Force be with you.
May the dark side be with you.
Hey, now you're starting to scare me.
I am all in black.
Catch you later.